It's time. It's time for Live Chat. The Psychetruth Live Chat. Every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time on your YouTube machine. Live Chat, Live Chat, Live Chat, Live Chat. I'll answer your questions about whatever you want to talk about on the Psychetruth. Live Chat, Live Chat, Live Chat, Live Chat. The Psychetruth. Live Chat, Live Chat, Live Chat, Live Chat. Live Chat, Live Chat, Live Chat, Live Chat. Live Chat, 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 Live Chat. Only on the YouTube. Thank you so much for being here. Hello and welcome. My name is Karina Rachel, and this humble little video that you're watching right now is my weekly live chat. This is a live Q&A session where you ask questions and I do my very best to answer them. Basically anything in that big umbrella of wellness, which is nutrition, dieting, weight loss, fitness, stress relief, improving sleep. There are a lot of topics that I feel are perfectly fair game when it comes to improving your health, feeling better, having more energy. Anyhow, I've made hundreds of videos on those topics on this channel, Psychetruth, that you can find. And so this is your chance to ask your questions. I'm hoping the sun will come back out here in a second. It's looking a little dark right now, but I think that the clouds will part any second here. The clouds will part and we will get a lot more beautiful sunlight coming in. So hello, welcome. Thank you so much, all of you, for being here. Let me get a little bit situated. Alrighty. Got my moderator in here. Thank you so much. Yes, the live chat theme song got a little jazzy today. Kobe Lauder, once again. I think that you did this last week too. Leaving a tip before the chat has even started. Kobe, thank you so much. You are a champion. Thank you for helping us stay alive here. I owe you an answer. Anyone who leaves a tip gets a guaranteed answer to their question. So, Kobe Lauder, I owe you an answer. I hope you will leave a question for me. The rest of you inside this chat room right now, you can go ahead and just leave your questions in the comment field. If you put some question marks at the beginning of your question, as Lewis Thompson has done here, those question marks at the beginning of the question just make it easier for me to see the questions. I will do my best to get to as many as I can, but remember that if you want a guaranteed answer, please leave a tip. So click the little $sign right underneath the comment box there, and you will be able to leave a tip with your question. Alrighty, guys. So here we go. Here's Lewis Thompson with a question. Karina, what are the pros and cons of liposuction and tummy tuck? No matter what I do, I listen to your advice and even the functional doctor, but it does not seem to work. Okay, so I'm a holistic health coach. I was certified by the Institute of Integrative Nutrition. And what that means, all right, being a holistic health coach or any kind of holistic medicine just means that you treat the body as a whole, just like it sounds. And what that means is that for any issue somebody might be having, like inability to lose weight, you don't just look at well, I guess that's not really an organ, so to speak, but for instance, you wouldn't just look at the belly and say, well, why is there belly fat? You would acknowledge that there's all of these other factors involved. One of the biggest things involved in weight loss is going to be your hormones. Okay, so we have thyroid hormones, adrenal hormones. We also have stress hormones. And this is one of the most common, what word am I looking for here? One of the most common underlying factors that inhibits people from losing weight, and that is the prevalence of stress hormones in your body. So, bottom line is that your body has to be fully functioning, and I mean all of the different organs and organ systems in your body working at an optimal level in order to have everything else be working the way it's supposed to. So when people come to me and say, Karina, I can't lose weight no matter what I do, then, it's almost, I don't want to say more exciting, but it challenges me to kind of get out my magnifying glass, so to speak, and really kind of try to target, with that person, figuring out what could be going on. So hormones is a big one. If you've been seeing a doctor of functional medicine, I would imagine that they were looking at your hormones. And if they didn't tell you that that was an issue, then maybe your adrenals, your thyroid, maybe these things are all okay. When it comes to stress hormones, this is something that a lot of people don't realize, but if you are stressed out, remember that stress is a mental and physical phenomenon. So even when it's just mental stress, it causes physical changes in the body. It causes the release of these stress hormones like cortisol. And cortisol is going to prevent you from losing weight. Cortisol and belly fat are like this, which is the same way as saying stress and belly fat are like this. They're very highly intertwined. So aside from stress, sleep, these are things that people don't often think about as having to do with weight loss, but they play a really big role. When it comes to liposuction, tummy tucks, and surgery in general, I would say that should be your last resort. And even when I say last resort, I, would still really discourage surgeries as much as possible. Why? Why, Karina? Why can't I just go and liposuction or tummy tuck or facelift or whatever it is I want to do? Well, I don't know, this may be a little bit too graphic, but have you guys ever watched, there's tons of TV shows now and YouTube videos where you can watch a liposuction or a tummy tuck or any kind of these plastic surgeries. I've watched a couple of them over the years because I just kind of find it fascinating, honestly. But what is really driven home to me when I watch these things, especially liposuction, is holy moly, what a traumatic, invasive, almost violent procedure. Understand that when you put your body through a traumatic, violent, stressful, experience, whether it's a car accident or whether it's a voluntary surgery, like rhinoplasty or tummy tucks, that trauma that is being done to your body is bad for you. Period. It's not healthy for you to invasively come into the body and remove things or change things. In the case of a nose job or something, they're actually breaking things away, destroying structures in order to rebuild them, which can create the aesthetic that you're looking for. But as a holistic health coach, I can never put the aesthetic over health. For me, it's always health is more important. And I truly believe that when your health is at the pinnacle of your consideration, the pinnacle of your concerns, those aesthetic benefits will come along. So you get your health in order, you're going to lose weight. You get your diet right, your skin's going to clear up. these types of things. All right, so let me kind of wrap this up into a neat bow. I personally feel that plastic surgery and liposuction should be avoided as much as possible. Obviously, the best way to avoid those procedures is to avoid ever getting to the point that those procedures become necessary. So getting our weight in check, getting our eating in control before we reach that point that the doctor says, look, this is the only option left. Once you've reached that point, there may not be a lot of other things that can help. However, I do believe that, if you are willing to, get out the magnifying glass, put on your Sherlock Holmes hat, so to speak, and really try to get to the bottom of what is preventing your body from coming into its absolute health. Remember, our bodies want to be healthy. So if we have some kind of issue going on, or weight that we can't seem to lose, or whatever it might be, there is an underlying cause somewhere. Your body's not just doing that randomly because it's lazy. Some kind of function is being destroyed somewhere in the body. So if you can get to the bottom of that, you can undo any of these types of situations, losing weight, etc. I think the biggest reason that it's so hard for people to lose weight is that we just kind of project for ourselves a really unrealistic ideal of what we're going for. And what I mean is, you have this feeling like, okay, I'm going to start working out every single day for an hour to 2 hours. Well, that's a really big goal, especially if you've never really worked out before. So I just strongly encourage people to start super small. If you're coming from a super sedentary environment, which I would assume that you are, because if you're considering liposuction or tummy tuck, you probably have a lot of excess weight. So that means you haven't worked out a lot, or maybe worked out at all in several years. So just start slowly. Go slowly. Be easy on yourself. If you have a lot of weight to lose, it may be easier to start by addressing your diet and just trying to clean up your diet, get lots of sleep, get lots of rest. And then when you start dropping pounds and you start seeing some change, then you start moving in to a gentle exercise routine. And then from there, you just kind of keep stepping it up little by little so that it doesn't feel overwhelming. Always set goals that feel realistic for you. Set a goal that you can see yourself doing. And focus on what you do, not on what you don't do. Rather, it's kind of a human nature thing. We get really focused on, oh, I missed my run. Oh, I missed this. Oh, I didn't eat my that, or I didn't eat my this. Focus on what you do. You know what? I ate a salad today. So what if it had bacon bits and ranch dressing? You ate a salad. So what if you missed the gym? Maybe you did a little 10-minute stretch or 10-minute workout throughout the day. Keep your mind focused on the things you're doing. Don't focus on the things that you're not doing, because there's always going to be 1,000,001 things that you can't do it all every day. So focus on what you can do. Focus on keeping small goals. Don't expect a big change immediately. Changes in the body, getting out of your habits, that's a slow process. So go easy on yourself. Be patient. And you can just do so much by yourself, so much good for yourself just by doing simple things like getting more sleep, eating more vegetables, drinking more water. It doesn't have to, be reinventing the wheel in order to be really, really beneficial and to create huge changes in your body. All right, Sayantan Ghosh says, how to get a big butt. Work your glute muscles. Work them a lot, work them often. One of the big reasons that our glute muscles can become so small and atrophied, partly from the fact that we're sitting on them all day, is just that they're not getting worked very often. Right? And especially for people who are sedentary, sitting, driving, not using those muscles very much. So just, obviously it's going to be important to do, butt exercises, glute workouts, leg workouts. Yoga is fantastic for building the glutes because there's a lot of poses that, really work those muscles. But another thing to consider is just working those muscles, as often as you can throughout the day. So just imagine, you got 24 hours in your day. Let's say you start doing a 10-minute glute workout. Let's say you did it twice a day, which would be awesome. A 10-minute glute workout in the morning and then do it again in the evening would be a great idea. But we're still talking about, 23 and a half hours of the day where you're not activating your glutes. So you can knock out another 8 hours, all right, that you'd be sleeping. Well, we're still looking at 12 hours a day that you're mostly sedentary. So just think about throughout the day, as often as you can, do a little something to get those muscles active, to get them working. So an easy thing you can do is a wall sit. It's just like it sounds. You put your back up flat against the wall and then squat down as much as you can until it kind of looks like you're sitting in a chair, but you're just supporting yourself on the wall. A wall sit is awesome because you can do it anywhere. I'm looking at a wall right now that I could go do one at. It's supported, so it's a lot easier than a regular squat. It's also a good core workout. You'll feel your abdominal muscles working as well as you try to hold in that way. But if you were to just start doing a minute or 2 minutes of wall sits 3 or 4 times a day throughout your day, get up away from your desk, get out of your car if you drive all day. But just thinking, the same thing could be said about your arms, about your abs, any muscle group you're trying to work. Finding little ways to activate those muscles throughout the day so that they're not asleep, so to speak, for most of the day. You can start training those muscles to just be more engaged in everything else that you do. And then doing some kind of an actual glute workout or leg workout or yoga practice, as often as you can. Erica Chrysostomo, how can you fix tight muscles? How can you fix tight muscles? There's a massage therapist named Eric Dalton who developed something known as myoskeletal alignment, a very unique approach to massage that deals with the relationship between your muscles and your skeletal structures or your bones. Well, this myoskeletal alignment is very, very fascinating, but one of the things that he said that just really sticks with me, and I think this was the name of one of his DVDs, motion is lotion. Motion is lotion. It's easy to remember. It's kind of fun to say. But when it comes to tight muscles in your neck, tight shoulders, your back hurts, your shoulders hurt, your low back hurts, your butt hurts, whatever it is, remember that motion is like lotion for your muscles. So one of the best things you can do, aside from getting a massage, all right, is just stretching those muscles, moving them around. If you're tight in the shoulders, something just really simple, like moving your shoulders around, can go a long way to just bringing blood flow and fresh circulation of both blood and lymphatic fluid into that area of tension or tightness. By breathing into a deep stretch, you're also welcoming in all of that fresh oxygen. One of the big reasons that our muscles become tight is partly just a lack of oxygen, a lack of blood flow to that area. Again, you can think about how our low backs get really sore after we're sitting all day. It's kind of similar to what I was saying in the last answer about, somebody who wants to get a bigger butt. These areas that are just sedentary and muscle groups that don't really get used, lack of blood flow, lack of oxygen just kind of creates a stagnant environment and can make those muscles get really, really tight as they then try to compensate to help you do the movements that you want to do or to sit in your chair or whatever it is. So motion is lotion, stretch. You can also do self-massage, which is great. The video I'm going to be posting right after this live chat is self-massage and stretches for neck and shoulder pain for people who sit at a desk. So it's an entire video. I think it's only 10 or 15 minutes of little how to self-massage your neck, stretches and movements for the arms. She even shows this awesome technique to work into the forearm to help with things like carpal tunnel, just general tightness people get working at a computer. So if you've got tight muscles in your neck and shoulders, definitely check out that video that I'll be publishing right after my chat. But just remember, simple things like drinking plenty of water, breathing deeply, stretch a muscle and then breathe deeply into it. And if you do start to stretch a muscle, like let's say you do this gentle arm stretch and you feel that tightness, you can just kind of think about breathing into that tightness that you feel. And as you breathe deeply into that tight muscle, you should feel it unlock and relax. Hermosa del Sol, I need to lose some extra weight. What is a healthy way and the best way to start? So I kind of started an answer to this question in the questions previous, but just to lay it out fresh. First things first, you've got to go slowly. You can't expect to change all of your habits in one night or to create a new habit in one day. So being patient with yourself, I think that's the hardest part. We feel, as a product of living in this very instant gratification society where everything you want is at your fingertips. You want to watch a movie, you click a button and you're watching a movie, where you've kind of become conditioned to expect things to happen really quickly. And when it comes to our health, and especially when it comes to weight loss, this is just not something that happens super quickly. So be patient with yourself. Start really small. If you're wanting to lose weight, chances are you have all of these ideas in your head of things that you want to do or things that you think you should do in order to lose weight. You need to work out more. You need to clean up your diet. You need to do this. You need to do that. And that can get really overwhelming. So don't try to do everything at once. Just pick one thing at a time. One thing at a time and go really slowly. And I would encourage you to, start with whatever thing seems like the easiest thing for you to do. If changing the way you eat feels really overwhelming and just makes you just have this sense of horrifying dread, then don't start with that. Start instead with starting to get a little bit more movement in your day. 5 minutes of stretching in the morning. 5 minutes of stretching in the evening. Don't set yourself a goal like, I'm going to go to the gym for 2 hours a day, every day. You're not going to succeed. Or if you do succeed, I would be amazed. You've got to start with really small goals that you can see yourself doing. And then once you start doing that a couple days, then you can start extending it to 7 minutes of stretching, 10 minutes of stretching. And once you get into that just habit of doing some kind of body work for 10 minutes a day or 20 minutes a day or whatever it is, then you can start kicking up the intensity, making it more of a workout. We've got hundreds and hundreds of videos on this channel of stretches, workouts, gentle workouts, back pain stretches, extreme high intensity workouts. So there's a lot of different things to choose from. And I would just encourage you to pick the thing that feels most doable. If you're just starting to try and lose weight, a high intensity interval workout is probably not, the best thing to start with. Start with something simple, something gentle. Another just good thing to remember, what is the healthy way to lose weight? How do I start? Remember that, your entire journey to lose weight and get healthier is about feeling really good. It's about feeling good. That's the whole purpose, right? And maybe you want to look better, or you want to fit into your jeans from high school or whatever, but your ultimate mission is to make your body feel better and to make your body feel healthier. So everything that you do should feel good. And I just say that again as kind of a reminder that, start out with the complete beginner stretches, or start out with back pain stretches. If you've got back pain, treat your body well. Do things that are going to make your body feel good. And, one of the biggest motivators to exercise is when the work that you're doing or the exercise you're doing makes your body feel really good. So don't try to force yourself to do things that you hate doing or that don't feel good or that aren't fun, because you're never going to be able to consistently motivate yourself to keep doing that. On the other hand, if you found something that was fun to do, like swimming or hiking or playing flag football or, I always, LARPing. I always see, like 100 or 200 people at the park doing the live action role play. They're having fun and running around. What could be better and healthier than that? So if that's something that sounds like fun to you, then do it. Losing weight and getting healthy doesn't mean you have to force yourself to go to the gym and do something that you hate to do. Just get out of that mindset. Another really important thing, again, I already said this, but it's just so important, I'm going to say it again. Focus on the things that you do. Not do, but you know what I mean. Focus on the things you do, not on the things that you don't. All right, so again, you've got this weight loss goal, you've got these things that you want to do, and, just know that there's always going to be a million things that you didn't do today, right? Because you can't do anything every day. So if you're always focusing on, I didn't get to the gym, I didn't eat my this, I didn't do that, I didn't do this, all you're going to think all the time. I mean, you could sit there for hours and hours and think of things that you didn't do today, right? So instead, switch your thinking, right? And this is not an easy thing. This is a process in and of itself. It starts with catching yourself, focusing on those negative things, and then you force yourself to instead focus on something that you did do today. I started my day with a glass of water. I started my day with 5 minutes of stretching. I tried a new vegetable today. I went out on a limb and I tried a rutabaga, and I can't believe it, but I tried a new vegetable today. And you just can start to shift your thinking. Build your wins by setting easy goals. Focus on the things that you are doing, not on the things that you're not doing. And just try to make it fun. Ultimately, getting healthy should be fun. It should feel good. And if it's not fun and it doesn't feel good, think about what you can do to make it more fun. Last thing I would say to anyone who's trying to lose weight, get more sleep. Handle your stress. Stress and sleep, so important, often forgotten, but they will prevent you from losing weight if you are not getting enough sleep and trying to keep your stress levels low. I just got a big surge of questions coming in here. So let's see. Oh, here we go. Oh, Garuda Legends. I don't know why you got blocked. I didn't block you. There's so many comments in here. It's kind of too hard for me to keep track of, but I'm really sorry you got blocked. Hopefully we can get you unblocked here. Garuda Legends, I definitely recognize your screen name. I know you're in here a lot. But guys, it only takes one inappropriate or rude comment to get yourself blocked. So please be nice. Please be nice in my chat. Sierra Chantel. caught my toe in the door a few weeks ago. It was only hurting for about a day, and then the pain went away, but now my toenail is black from that injury. What to do? Unfortunately, it's kind of the same thing that, I'm seeing other people comment this. There's really not a lot that you can do about your toenail other than just letting it grow out. We've had a lot of actually presenters on the channel who either one of their fingernails falls off or their toenail or like whatever random thing. And we just kind of have to like not show that foot or that hand as best as possible, until it gets healed up. Because there's really not, too much you can do. On that note, it is worth noting that, anything you can do to bring more blood flow to your foot can be really, really beneficial. Luckily there's already a lot of blood flow being brought to the feet just because of gravity. Right? But know that, if you're sitting for really long periods of time, that's going to pull, even though you still have gravity pulling some circulation to your foot, when we're sitting, we're kind of like cramping up, a lot of the, for lack of a better term, a lot of the conversation between our upper body and our lower body is just kind of stilted when we're sitting. You can think about it like when you crimp a hose. It's not quite the same, but it's, a similar enough concept. So if you're sitting for long periods of time, elevate your foot could maybe help, or just think about getting up, standing up periodically. Even when you're sitting though, you can do simple things like rolling out your ankle or flexing and pointing your foot. You probably don't want to point really strongly. You don't want it to be painful. It's just about the more that you bring some movement and rotation into your foot, it'll bring some more blood flow. To that area. Aside from that, and then maybe, you can do like alternating heat and ice could maybe be beneficial. If I were you, I would like search the web for something like, what to do about my black toenail. And chances are you will actually find other people who have been in the exact same situation as you, and they can actually say like, oh, it really helped to ice it, or it really helped to put heat on it, or something like that. You could get lymphatic massage around your foot and ankle. Could potentially help. We have a lot of videos on lymphatic massage. I don't know if we have a lymphatic foot massage video, but, that would be something to consider. That could definitely be helpful. Natasha and Tone, I am very stressed because I have to study all day right now. What can I do to not feel like that? Wow. I remember, being in college and studying all the time and always having a lot to do, papers to write, exams to prepare for. I mean, it's very, very stressful. In hindsight, I see now that a lot of what they're doing in college is just challenging you. Just challenging you to get you to work, to get you to be in a stressed out situation. Because when you get out of school, when I was graduating college and I thought, woohoo, no more stress, no more studying, this is going to be great. Wow, was I wrong. I tell you what, even though there's no exams or papers to write or anything like that, real life, I think in some ways is actually even more stressful than school. So largely, like I said, in hindsight, I see now that, college is trying to prepare you for the real world. And even though you're not actually going to have to recall anatomy of the inside of a frog or something like that in your everyday life, what they are trying to prepare you for is just that feeling of stress. Because once you get out of school, you kind of feel that feeling like all the time. At least to a degree. And then obviously sometimes more than others, like around the first of the month when all my bills are due and all my rent is due and I don't have a roommate right now. And I'm a little freaking out. I'm a little bit freaking out. So just recognize that college is trying to teach you about stress, and high school too, for that matter. You didn't say what kind of school you were in. You might not even be in school. Maybe you're studying for something else. But bottom line is just, for me, if I had known when I was in school that they're stressing me out on purpose, they're trying to teach me how to deal with stress, I think that I could have handled it a lot better. So when you're in it and you're studying and you have all this to do and all of these deadlines, I think one of the most important things to remember is that getting sleep, taking care of your health, is actually more important than actually studying. There were times that I would stay up all night studying for an exam or all night writing a paper. And in hindsight, again, everything's 2020 in hindsight, I think that, I probably would have done better if I had gotten some sleep. Even if I, would have cut out a couple hours of my studying, I think I would have done better on that exam if I had gotten sleep than from having not slept at all so that I could study more. So as a student, I think that it's, very, very important to always balance, your sleep, your self-care, how well you take care of yourself, and your studying. And if you get to the point where, your studying is taking so much precedence and so much importance that you're not sleeping enough, you're not taking care of your body, that's gonna not work out for the best. So find that balance of still taking care of yourself, trying to get done as much as you can, and I think that you could apply that. Again, I've mentioned this a couple times, but apply that concept of focusing on what you did do rather than focusing on what you didn't do. Especially in the realm of studying for an exam, right? There can be this feeling like, I meant to go back and reread the last 5 chapters of the textbook and I didn't. So rather than focusing on what you didn't do, focus on what you did do. I went over all my old homework assignments. I went through the study guide twice. Whatever it is that you did do, that's what you got to focus on. Because there's always going to be hours and hours and hours worth of things that maybe you wanted to do and you didn't do, but you've got to not let that overwhelm your mind. Keeping your mind calm and focused. This is, one of the big benefits from yoga that I've experienced for myself, which is that when you're practicing focusing on a pose or on balancing on one foot, it actually helps improve your focus overall in other things. So meditating or yoga, this would be something you could do as part of your self-care. It's taking care of you, it's reducing stress, but it's also going to help you be more focused when you study or when you go to take an exam or something. So anything, that helps you manage those stress levels and stay focused on the positive things, always within the back of your mind, just remembering that, the real world is not about how much information you can remember. It's about how well you can handle a stressful situation with grace and, just be patient with yourself, accept yourself. I don't know how much that applies to whatever you're studying for, but I feel like if somebody would have said those things to me when I was in college, it would have really helped me. Or I would have rolled my eyes at them and only realized later that they were right, which is often how it happens. Jeanette Bell, what is the best exercise to do when you have painful knees? Okay, so if you put in knee pain on Psychetruth channel, this channel that we're on right now, we have a couple different videos that have been done. There are some chiropractic videos where Dr. Eccles has talked about knees and knee pain. That may not be as helpful to someone just sitting at home with knee pain, but I still think it's interesting. Like, you would probably learn something valuable. We also have a yoga video that I filmed, probably years ago with my friend Molly, but it's all about taking care of your knees. And she literally did like a full, yoga video talking about how to take care of your knees, how to build strength in the muscles around your knee that help to support your kneecap and keep your knee safe. A lot of it has to do with alignment. One thing to just start noticing when you walk is that your feet should be straight in front of you. All right, so if you are walking and your feet are out to the side or your feet are pigeon-toed inward, that alone can kind of torque on your knee, can pull your knee out of alignment. So something simple like paying attention to when you stand, are your legs straight? Are your feet straight? If you're putting your weight on one hip or another, or standing funny, or have your feet in a weird position, that alone can start causing knee problems. And then also when you walk, if you start noticing, you'll see a lot of people walk like this. Chances are some of you in the chat right now, if you start paying attention, you'll notice that when you walk, your feet are splayed out. So just trying to keep them straight. It's going to keep everything in alignment and keep everything really safe. Painful knees. If you have knee pain or some kind of knee injury, it is really, really important that you are cautious around your knees. There's a lot of different exercise moves that involve you being on your knees. And so you probably want to avoid those if you have some kind of a knee pain, because it's not going to feel very good. You could also consider just padding underneath your knees. So if you're in a tabletop position, for instance, doing different workout moves, put a couple of yoga mats or maybe even a couple of folded towels to support under your knee so that you're not getting as much, pressure up from the floor on your kneecap. But there are, hundreds and hundreds of videos, workout videos we've made on this channel. And there are plenty of exercise moves that either you're laying on your back and your knees aren't being engaged at all, or they're standing or something like that. But put in the word knee on our channel. Check out those videos. There's a lot of information that's been shared. And we have a lot of massage therapists doing self-care videos now. The one that we're about to post after this live chat, which is going to be self-massage and stretches for the neck and shoulders. All stretches you can do while you're sitting at your desk. That kind of self-care would be a great place for us to offer something specific to knees. So I will reach out to our different massage therapists and see if we can create something like that for you. Quartzy, any tips for helping me concentrate? Matcha, or Ilki Aptroot has chimed in here, green tea. Matcha is just, it's like an even more potent form of green tea. The leaves have not been dried. So you get more antioxidants. Matcha has been historically used for ceremonial usage because it creates a calm sense of focus. So matcha tea, something to consider. I would also echo what I said a little while ago about yoga. There's so many health benefits of yoga, but one of the big ones is that by focusing your mind on your body, so on something like tree pose where you balance on one foot, or even in a warrior pose. A lot of the yoga postures require you to kind of focus on what you're doing, right? Or focus on your breath. And even though it's kind of unrelated, It does improve your ability to focus on other things. So do something like yoga or balancing exercises, and just those things that help us be more connected with our body, and anything that just helps you be more focused on things in your real environment or feelings that you're experiencing are going to also kind of strengthen your mind as a muscle, so to speak, so that you can focus on other things more easily. ASMR videos, in that respect, I feel help improve our focus because they help us learn to focus our attention very intently on really small sounds, on really tiny details. Okay. Thank you so much for all of your kind comments, everyone. I'm looking for question marks. Hannah Hammonds, what's your opinion on meditation to help before workouts? I think meditating is awesome. Very, very helpful. Could go perfectly as well with the question about how to focus. Meditating is all about learning to focus your mind, and what that means is, how do you ignore distractions? Or how do you let a distraction pass by you without distracting you? Right? Because there's always a million distractions. So essentially what we're learning to do with meditating or doing a guided meditation is you're practicing letting those distractions float by, and you'll notice them. It's not that you somehow don't notice them, but you notice the distraction, and then you just let it move by, and you stay focused on your breath or on the meditation or whatever you're doing. And, that's what focus is all about, right? How do you ignore distractions? How do you get to where some distraction can happen, but it doesn't completely make you lose your train of thought or get out of the focus of whatever you're doing? Meditation, great way to improve your focus. Meditating before a workout sounds like a really cool idea, because then you're just really getting your mind prepared for the physical thing you're about to do. Really and truly, I would say meditation anytime is a really, really good thing to do. Definitely before bedtime can be a great way to help you sleep. Whoa, so much questions. Sierra Chantel, lots of gigantic question marks. Thank you. I actually really appreciate that. It was really easy to find this question. She says, how much sugar a day is too much when you're trying to lose weight? By the way, I don't eat junk food. I get my sugar intake from fruit and other healthy foods. This is kind of a difficult question, because the answer, it is maybe painfully obvious, in a sense that, the less sugar you eat, the more weight you'll lose. The more sugar you eat, the less weight you'll lose. So if you really, really want to lose weight, you should really think about bringing your sugar intake down. Now, the caveat is that if your sugar intake is coming from natural foods, like fruit and other healthy foods and stuff, then you can be allowed some sugar. The body will actually, no, maybe what I should say is that your sugar intake, you should balance with how much physical exercise you do. If you're really, really physically active, you work out consistently every day for, at least 20 minutes, ideally an hour if you're trying to lose weight, then your body is in a, sugar burning zone or a fat burning zone. It's the energetic demand of regular exercise that keeps your body burning through the sugar and also burning through your fat. So if you're eating too much sugar, your body will just always be burning sugar and it will never start burning your fat reserves. But if you're exercising regularly, then it's going to be totally fine for you to eat some fruit or eat some sugar because you're going to burn that off. Where sugar becomes something that will impede your weight loss is where you're eating the sugar, but then you're not exercising. And just in your regular day-to-day life of walking around the house, walking through the parking lot, driving to work, whatever, you're not going to burn enough calories to ever get into that zone where you start burning your fat reserves. So Sierra Chantel, kind of a woo-woo answer I'm giving you here. I apologize for that. But essentially the take-home message is that the more you exercise, the more your body's going to be able to burn through whatever sugar you take in your diet. So if you're exercising regularly, I'm not going to give you, a number of grams of sugar. Ideally, your sugar should be low. If you're eating sugar from healthy sources like fruit and stuff like that, you're getting all this fiber and nutrients and other benefits as well that make that sugar less likely to turn into fat. And if you're exercising, and especially if you exercise a lot, then you're going to be able to get away with a higher sugar intake than if you're living a mostly sedentary lifestyle. In which case, I would encourage you to significantly reduce sugars as much as possible. Bint Luda, I've always suffered from acne. Went to the gym. Went to a gynecologist, I guess, and skin doctors, and both said my hormone levels are normal. What may be causing the acne? It could be a food allergy. Dairy products like milk and cheese are kind of well known for causing inflammation, or causing an inflammatory response in the body. Certain people, when they eat dairy products, it will cause acne. I've known several people in my life who cut dairy products from their diets and their skin cleared up for the first time in their lives. Dairy is one of those things that a lot of us are being given from the day that we're born. Or maybe not the day we're born, but from a very young age. So, for somebody that's had acne their entire life, you might look at things that you've been eating for your entire life and experiment with taking those out of your diet. So dairy is a big one. Grains can be a big one. Wheat and gluten and those types of things. So you can just experiment with taking different things out of your diet for 3 weeks and just seeing if it helps the situation. I'd also encourage you to consider the things you put on your skin. A lot of the soaps and skincare and makeups and whatever that's out there is filled with weird preservatives and fragrances and surfactant chemicals like sodium lauryl sulfate. So I personally really try to use natural soaps, simple things on my skin like coconut oil, use natural makeup. It gets pretty expensive, but I don't wear a lot of makeup. I don't wear like foundation all over my face. And I think that that's gone a long way in helping me keep my skin clear because, your pores can get really clogged up by having lots and lots of makeup or skincare products or whatever on them. So I don't know from your screen name if you're a guy or a girl or not. So maybe makeup is not even a consideration. But just, remember that our skin is not saran wrap. And the things that we put on topically, do enter our bloodstream and can affect our health, can affect our skin. So there's a lot of considerations both internally and externally when it comes to something like acne. Again, I've got several videos on this channel specifically on that topic. So if you want more information, you can put in acne or skincare as a search term on Psychetruth to find more information. RV Shawshank, when we should consume chia seeds and how? As often as you like, whenever you like. Chia seeds are great because they can easily be added to things like smoothies or, sprinkle some over your salad. One of my favorite ways to eat chia seeds is putting them in a little cup or a bowl of either water, coconut water, or coconut milk, or almond milk or something like that. And when you let the chia seeds sit in a liquid, they will get kind of gooey, almost like a pudding consistency. So chia seed pudding, I have a recipe for it on this channel. You can look it up if you want to. But it makes a really kind of just delicious, little dessert. And then you could add things like honey, cinnamon, you could add chocolate if you wanted to. Chia seeds don't have a very strong taste. So they're basically going to take on the taste of whatever you put with them. And in my opinion, that's actually really great, right? Because you can kind of do a lot of different things with them. Sometimes I'll take that chia seed pudding and then throw it in with my smoothie. So that kind of, I'm able to kind of use that chia pudding to thicken up my smoothie. I hope that answers your question. When and how to eat chia seeds. Where does weight go when you lose it? I don't know if that's a real question or not. Jay Sagazio. So, interestingly enough, when we lose weight, we're not actually losing fat cells. We still have the same number of fat cells in our body. It's just about how much fat is inside of them. So when we burn fat, it's basically like, I've used this analogy before. It's almost like all of the cells in your body are little storage units, right? So it's just like the, storage place that you see as you're driving down the road. Excuse me, I feel like I need to sneeze. Anyways, so you've got all these storage units, and then when you're eating too much sugar, more sugar than you're burning, all right, that sugar gets converted into fat and gets kind of stored in those storage units all over your body. So then when you lose weight, your body, once you, so let's say you start exercising, the first thing your body will do is burn through whatever sugar is in your bloodstream. So this is the big reason why reducing sugar, reducing refined carbohydrates like white bread is really important, because if you've always got a bunch of sugar in your bloodstream, no matter how much you work out, your body's just burning sugar. So once your body burns through all the sugar, okay, then it starts going into those fat reserves and converting the fat inside of your fat cells into ketones, and those ketones get used for energy. So the weight is essentially getting removed from your cells, the fat's getting removed from your cells, converted into a ketone, and then burned for fuel. So I guess you could say it becomes, it doesn't really become sweat, it doesn't really become anything. It just becomes energy. Where does the weight go when you lose it? Andrea, is it fine to do yoga in a cold room? I mean, I wouldn't do yoga in a really, really, really cold place. Just a general concept, is that warm muscles are going to be more flexible. So when we warm up before a workout, you're literally, through movement, creating heat, creating warmth. In a warm room, you're going to be more flexible. I typically do yoga in just like the room temperature room. I don't make it excessively hot or excessively cold. But just kind of know that if you are in a cold room or in a cold place, you will not be as flexible. Your muscles will just be a bit more tight than they would be in a room temperature kind of room or a warm room. All right, so we're just going over the halfway point of this live chat. I want to remind you guys that this is a super chat. There are so many questions here. It's going to be really hard for me to get through all of them, but if you leave a tip with your question, YouTube will alert me, or at least it's supposed to. It has not alerted me for either of the tips left today, unfortunately. But if you leave a tip by clicking on the little $sign underneath the comment box, that will get you a guaranteed answer for your question. Cool. Psychetruth, my moderator, is chiming in here. When fat is burned, it becomes CO2 and H2O. So carbons that are exhaled and water which can be exhaled or excreted some other way. So there you go. And actually, I do remember that now. You basically are breathing out your fat. It gets converted to carbon dioxide. So, when you're losing weight, there's your weight you lost. G3R45M4T3. I don't know why I was feeling kind of dyslexic reading that screen name for some reason. What do you think about the ketogenic diet? So we actually have one of our employees here on the Psychetruth team has been doing a ketogenic diet for... Man, I'd have to ask him, but several months now. He has lost 41 pounds. Maybe more than that at this point. Ketogenic diet can be very, very effective. It does take a lot of changes, though, to your regular diet. So a ketogenic diet basically means that you keep your body in ketosis. So that's where your body is burning ketones for energy, right? So remember, ketones are basically what the fat inside of your fat cell gets converted to in order to be burned for fuel. So what this means is that at any given time, you're keeping your blood sugar level lower. You're keeping your glucose intake or your sugar intake very low. And this basically keeps your body in that mode where it's burning your stored fat reserves for fuel, because there's no sugar coming in, or very little sugar coming in through your diet. So basically, a ketogenic diet is very, very, very low sugar, almost completely no sugar. Even fruits and stuff like that are limited in a true ketogenic diet. No carbohydrates. So it's almost like an Atkins diet in that way. but it's also a little bit different. Lots of healthy fats, lots of healthy protein, lots of salads and stuff like that. But low or no carb, low or no sugar. It's a very effective diet. It's just not the easiest diet to do. Anyhow, I had 2 tips come in while I was answering that question, so I'm going to go ahead and get to these. I think I'm going to do a whole diet on ketogenic diets, so keep an eye out for that. So free one up, thank you so much for your super mega generous awesome tip. Free one up, you're such a champion. Alrighty. Are there any natural foods that give the same energy boost as an energy drink? When it comes to energy and energy levels, unfortunately, the energy drinks, they're so loaded with caffeine. Typically, they'll also have any number of other energy boosting things. Typically, energy drinks also have a lot of sugar, which will give people an energy boost. Unfortunately, energy drinks are one of the least healthy things that someone can consume for several reasons. Shoot, maybe that needs to be a video too. So natural foods that can give the same energy boost as an energy drink. Anything with caffeine is worth noting. There are some things that have a natural presence of caffeine. Certain teas are caffeinated. So that would be certainly a far healthier option. Something like black tea has a pretty high caffeine level. Even some green teas will have a certain caffeine content. So any type of tea will be a healthier way to get some caffeine, to get some energy boost. Other foods, that can help to, when we're talking about, things that boost our energy. Unfortunately, an energy drink does that by artificially boosting your adrenal hormones, your hormones that, give you that flood of energy so you can fight or flight. So from a perspective of stress, energy drinks are very bad for you because they're basically creating an artificial stress response in order to trigger an additional release of adrenaline and those other hormones related to energy. So energy drinks really will, over time, zap your adrenal glands and can even create bigger energy issues. Unfortunately, there's not a whole lot of things that are going to give you an immediate boost, so to speak. However, it's worth noting that mate is a highly caffeinated tea that can sometimes do that. I think that there are a lot of things out there that can be, very helpful for improving energy levels overall. And I would imagine there probably are some natural foods that can give an energy boost. I'm just not really thinking of any off the top of my head. But really just recognizing the things that zap our energy can also be really important. So sugar intake, even though we get that kind of sugar rush, we also get that sugar crash, which is very, very unhealthy as well as unpleasant. So staying away from sugar, staying away from caffeine, staying away from, energy drinks to the best of your ability, and even keeping caffeine reduced. Because caffeine is something your body can become, dependent on. If you're drinking too much caffeine, eventually this will create a situation where your body can no longer create energy on its own. So, when we talk about adrenal fatigue and other adrenal issues, these are products of someone's dependence on caffeine. Somebody having too much of, that kind of artificial energy boost there. Nestor House, thank you so much for your tips. Super generous. I really appreciate it. Let me know if you have a question. because I owe you an answer at this point. But I'm not seeing a question here with your tip there. So please let me know. Garuda Legends has chimed in here. Glad we got you unbanned there. Thank you, everyone, for doing that. Garuda Legends question. Can you talk about how bad man-made drugs are? It says bad man-mad drugs, and it took me a second. I'll be honest. I was like, bad man-mad drugs. But I think you mean how bad man-made drugs are. So honestly, I am not, just 100% against man-made drugs. I recognize that there are a lot of pharmaceuticals, aka man-made drugs out there, that are life-saving and that have a very important role in helping people to get healthy or stay healthy, or kick an infection or something like that. However, oh my gosh. God, this is like something I could talk about for a really long time, but what should I say that I think is the most important thing to say without answering this question for 3 hours? The problem with, most of the man-made drugs out there with the pharmaceuticals, there's a couple of problems. First of all, they're just overused and overtaken. They have unintended side effects, which in many cases are worse than whatever the person started taking that drug for in the first place. Most of those drugs are toxic to your liver. When you think about a medication or a medicine, you think about something that's good for your body. It's healthy for you. But unfortunately, a lot of the pharmaceuticals out there, they may resolve a certain symptom, but they come at a cost somewhere else. So we could take something simple like painkillers, like Tylenol. And other, there's also basically steroidal and non-steroidal anti-inflammatories. There are many drugs out there that, while they may, for instance, reduce your pain, create a relief of pain, they are toxic to your liver, or they are, in some other way harmful to your body, and so everything just kind of comes at a cost. Whereas if you look at a vitamin or, something that is just giving you health benefits, but there's no side effects. There's not another organ of the body that's harmed by that medicine or by that vitamin. Now you're looking at something that has a lot less risk. And, typically when you're working with things that are, less invasive, less risky, have fewer side effects or no side effects at all, now you're doing something for your body that doesn't come at a cost. And I think that is really the main benefit of opting for things that are more natural. Probably the biggest problem with pharmaceutical drugs or man-made drugs, as you want to call them, is that they are produced, or I should say, how do I want to say this? Their production is driven by profit. Their production is driven by profit. So when you have a pharmaceutical company, whoever that may be, they are producing medications not because they're like, oh man, this could help so many people. They're like, we're gonna make millions. Maybe they don't really say that. But what I mean is, number one, all of those drugs are driven by the patent that can be created for them. So when you ask something like, why doesn't my, doctor give me a prescription for vitamin C? This Karina chick talks a lot about how, whatever it might be, garlic is good for you, or ginger is good for you. Why don't they recommend me a supplement of garlic or this or that? It's because you can't patent something in nature. You can only patent something that's man-made. So, in the world of holistic medicine and natural health, where we're really trying to look at natural foods as a source for things that can create and restore health in the body, unfortunately, those things are never going to make a pharmaceutical company millions and millions of dollars because they can't patent them. So in the world of pharmaceuticals, it really is a game of patents, so to speak. And when a patent expires on a certain drug, guess what? A few months later, they're going to roll out another drug with another name and another patent, but it could do the exact same thing. It could be the exact same drug. To answer your question more directly, and will be the end of this little tangent I've gone on. The problem with man-made drugs is that they're profit-driven. They're dependent on what patent can be taken for whatever that thing is. And if something can't be patented, then it's not going to have any research done on it. And it's probably just not going to be created at all because they can't patent it. They can't make a profit off of something that's, just present in nature. And largely, I feel that, Western medicine is not looking at the body as a whole. It's looking to manage or treat very specific certain symptoms without actually trying to determine what caused that problem in the first place. What is this symptom a result of? And then trying to actually resolve that problem. They have so many patients, so many people, so many drugs. So much of this is just kind of targeted around, can we manage this symptom? Can we alleviate this pain? Can we do this? And the whole effect on the rest of the body is largely just ignored. A very, very unpopular topic on YouTube. We have, over the last year, had hundreds of our videos demonetized on YouTube because they talk negatively about pharmaceutical companies. And some of your biggest advertisers on YouTube are pharmaceutical companies. So a lot of the information that we have created about pharmaceutical drugs, or really anything to do with any kind of drug or medication, those videos are no longer advertiser friendly on YouTube. So we've either pulled them down or unlisted them. And they are now available on wellnessplus.tv. So we are actually really, really excited that we are making this transition. We'll always have the YouTube channel for sure. But we are going to be putting the bulk of our content on wellnessplus.tv. It's only $5 a month. $5 a month for hundreds and hundreds of videos. There's a little bit of crossover of stuff from Psychetruth that we've put on that channel that we thought was really good. But it's a lot of brand new videos with 10 to 20 new videos going up every week. So anyways, $5 a month. wellnessplus.tv, lots of information there, and we are not censored. We don't have to worry about upsetting an advertiser or whatever. So wellnessplus.tv has just become this super awesome source, or I should say super awesome way for us to share information without being worried that YouTube is going to shut our channel down because we said something negative about pharmaceutical companies. Yes, anything controversial is basically advertiser unfriendly. But it's funny because, if you look at the YouTube, there's certain things that are controversial, but they love them. And then there's other things that are controversial and they hate them. So it's just really, everything that everyone loved about YouTube, which was that it's this open environment where there's freedom of speech. You can say whatever you want. all of that is going out the pooper. Is going out the window, in favor of doing things that will please the advertisers, which was the whole problem with TV in the first place. And the whole reason that YouTube became so popular is because people were sick of, advertisers having the final say on anything that can be presented. And that's exactly what's happening now. Our channel, we're about to break 2 million subscribers, which is awesome. We're super happy about that. But our views on our videos are going down. And it's because YouTube doesn't like us, because we say things that upset some of their advertisers. And man, it's getting harder and harder to survive here on YouTube. That's why we would be so happy for you to come check us out on wellnessplus.tv. I feel like we are giving a tremendous value for $5 a month. Lots of 30-day programs, 30-day challenge, 30-day ab program, with tons and tons of information going up every week. So check it out. It's a great way to support what we do and help keep the cameras rolling for us here at Psychetruth. Angel Flower, are naturopaths and yoga or chiropractors good for fibromyalgia? Fibromyalgia, chronic pain. I definitely think seeing an applied clinical, or applied kinesiology. There are certain chiropractors that will be applied kinesiologists, or you could search for applied kinesiology in your zip code. It's basically a chiropractor with, with even a more advanced understanding of the body and how to read it, so to speak. A doctor of functional medicine, I would really think would be the way to go to try and get to the root cause of your fibromyalgia and try to resolve it. But yes, a naturopath, aka, that could be a functional, doctor of functional medicine, a holistic health coach. But yes, I would definitely say yoga is good. Chiropractic is good, especially if you can find an applied kinesiologist. But any kind of holistic health practitioner should definitely be able to, to help you out in that area, or at least point you to someone who can really offer you some helpful information. Nestor House, thank you so much. Y'all are so kind. Really appreciate your support. All right, you guys. So I am getting the signal to wrap up my chat here. Please come back to the channel in about 10-15 minutes and check out this video I'm about to post. It's with a new presenter. Her name is Jade Nelson, and she's a massage therapist. She did a video on self-massage and stretches you can do at your desk to reduce neck pain, shoulder pain, even carpal tunnel. She shows some work on the forearms and the hands that's just awesome. So please come back in about 10-15 minutes. Check out that video. Let me know what you think of her. I'm really excited to have her on as a new presenter. So be sure to give her a warm welcome to the channel. And check us out, wellnessplus.tv. Hundreds and hundreds of videos and dozens being added every week. Yoga, guided meditation, massage therapy, ASMR videos, ASMR massage, as well as, fitness, yoga workouts, guided meditations, There's a lot of content on there. Wellness Plus .tv. Come check us out. Come say hello. We would love to know if you like what we've been working on. We've been working really, really hard to build up Wellness Plus and put a lot of cool stuff on it. So we would love to know what you think. We also have a Patreon as well. It's another really good way to help support what we are doing. And you get some really fun like bloopers and behind the scenes kind of stuff as well, which is cool. It was time for live chat. The Psychetruth live chat, only on YouTube. It's time for live chat. The Psychetruth live chat. Da-da-da-da. It was time for live chat. The Psychetruth live chat, live chat, live chat. Every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time on your YouTube machine. Live chat, live chat, live chat, live chat. I'll answer your questions about whatever you want to talk about on the Psychetruth. Live chat, live chat, live chat, live chat. The Psychetruth live chat. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for enduring my pretty goofy live chat theme song. And I will see you all next week, 2 p.m. right here on Psychetruth. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a beautiful, beautiful rest of your day. Ta-ta for now. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next week.